So is dropping $8,000 worth it to supercharge my second gen Tundra? Well, I guess if you're lined up against an RHO with your wife driving, it's not. So whatever, she wears the pants in the relationship, but it's not all about drag racing with trucks. In this video, guys, we're gonna talk about how this supercharger has really changed this Tundra. We're also gonna go over gas mileage. Has it improved or is it way less? So in case you guys missed it, Yota Mafia installed this for me on the Tundra along with a big brake kit by Power Brakes. Now this supercharger is Magnuson's 2.65 liter blower. It's massive, making the Tundra now get 560 horsepower and about 563 foot-pounds of torque. Now those numbers are impressive, but the dyno graph right here is really what changes the performance on this truck. You'll see all the way up at the top just how quickly that torque now comes on. Going from the third gen Tundra into this one, because a lot of my viewers wanted me to just get into a second gen. It's the only Tundra that I have not experienced yet. And they said, John, the V8's great. It's good. It is good stock, but there's a lot left on the table. I did an OTT tune before this supercharger. It really woke up the Tundra, but it was still missing a ton of torque down below that I became used to with those twin turbocharged Tundra platforms. Now that this thing is supercharged, the torque is absolutely awesome at the bottom end. Now, as for the power brakes, these things are awesome. The stock brakes on this truck were very mushy due to its age. These things stop the truck on a dime. It is very dirty though. I do need to clean up the nice stock BBS forged wheels, but these things are an absolute game changer, especially with how much horsepower we're putting through the truck. It's not a race car, but at the end of the day, you do want to stop such a heavy vehicle. So these were 100% worth it for me. So we're gonna go get gas now in the Tundra. The computer is reading 17.6 miles per gallon. So place your bets down in the comment section if you think that's accurate, or if our manual mileage test is going to prove that otherwise. If you guys enjoy betting, I've teamed up with DraftKings Sportsbook, where new customers who bet $5 can get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. We all know that it's football season, and me personally, I've been betting against a team that has won 2 Super Bowls in a row. It happens to be my wife's favorite team, and so far, my bets have been paying off because that particular team is not doing so well. If sports betting though isn't available in your state, don't worry, DraftKings has you covered with their daily fantasy sports, where you have the shot to win cash prizes there as well. So if you guys want to sign up, you can utilize my link in the description or also the pinned comment. Again, new customers, you can turn $5 into $300 if your bet wins. Get paid instantly in bonus bets. The crown is yours. Use my code TRDJOHN when you guys are signing up. DraftKings, thank you so much for sponsoring this video. Let's get to the gas station now and spend some money. It's probably gonna be close to $300. All right, so of course we have to put 93 octane in. That's what we have here in Florida, and it's not gonna be $300 because I don't live in California. Gas right now is $3.41 for premium. What is it where you guys are at? Still had probably 10 more gallons to go till an empty tank, but filled up 24.6 gallons, 84 bucks. All right, we're gonna have to play the trust game here, guys. When I pulled up to the gas station, the tank average was at 17.5. I failed to record that. It's obviously reset itself since we filled up the truck. But I did do the trip though, so that is exactly at 302 miles. So we'll go ahead and do the calculations here. Computer's off. It's way off, holy crap. 12.2 miles per gallon is what we got. 12.2 miles per gallon instead of the 17.5 that it was reading. So I had a suspicion that it was going to be low because when I filled the truck up, it said, hey, I have like well over 500 miles of range. And then we filled up at about a quarter of a tank and it only said 302 miles. So we are getting less gas mileage than before, but honestly, not by much, because this truck was hanging out at around 14.5, maybe 15 miles per gallon. I've drag raced with this truck multiple times, multiple pulls with it as well, just feeling out the supercharger. Tons of idle time. My wife has been using it to go back and forth to Home Depot because we're renovating another project right now on an Airbnb. So that's honestly not horrible, because we weren't trying to hypermile it or do anything like that. So to be about 2.5 miles per gallon less than what it was with racing the truck, feeling the supercharger, that's not horrible. It's not great, but it's not horrible. Let's go ahead and drive now to give you guys my final impressions of about after a month of this supercharger. So like I said before in the first video of when we did supercharge the truck, my favorite thing about it is that it just feels stock. And I know I started this video off by saying, oh, the stock engine is a little lackluster. What I mean is just the characteristics and the driving dynamic of the truck, the tune that Magnuson flashes into this. It's like, just, you can cruise if you really want, or you could put the pedal down and really get it up and going. That was just, you know, drive mode. I could put it into tow haul and give it a little bit more, take the gas, or turn off the traction control too. But I just absolutely love how, just driving around town, the truck feels relatively stock. My wife taking it to the grocery store, taking it to Lowe's, Home Depot, all this crap that she was doing with it, me just still using it as a truck, throwing stuff in the bed of it, driving around. It just feels like the normal Tundra does until you put the pedal down. And also having that low end torque just really available at relatively lower RPMs than what it was stock, which is nice. Higher torque at lower RPMs, which is very, very nice. Obviously, I wish it got better gas mileage, but when it's a big, thirsty, hungry V8, it's not gonna, you know, get that best of gas mileage. It didn't stock, and now putting a blower on top and, you know, driving it hard and hearing that supercharger, it's not gonna get the best gas mileage. So I was really, really optimistic that 17.5 was accurate, just because a blower is allowing the engine to work just a little bit less. It's pushing more air through it. You're not having to put the pedal down as much either, which is nice, because the blower just allows the truck to just get up to speed faster. It's not downshifting as much either, like it used to. It only has a 6-speed transmission. And I did mention in that first video of this that that's kind of like the Achilles heel of this truck, is a 6-speed transmission versus like maybe an 8-speed or a 10-speed, because when the RHO beat it in a race, that's because that had a nice 8-speed. It's able to stay in boost. It's keeping the RPMs going. Whereas this transmission, it is older and it does, you know, take a little bit longer to shift or hold out the gears as well. But just getting it up to speed to 40 real fast just felt like a normal Tundra. Put the pedal all the way down. You're right up to 60. Oh my God, I love it. So is it worth $8,000? Honestly, it depends on who you are and what you're using your truck for. This, for me, if I was selling this truck in, let's say 6 months, I probably wouldn't have done the blower if I was just a normal consumer. For the YouTube content makes sense. It makes sense to do it. Yeah, I would have done it. But as a normal consumer, I probably wouldn't do it. Now, if this truck is going to be, or the second gen Tundra, your second gen Tundra, if it's gonna be like a forever vehicle, which this is for me, I really do plan on keeping this truck for a long, long time. Putting the blower on it, it's great. It gives some new life into the vehicle. It makes it feel a little bit more modern, especially as I've been driving more modern cars. The torque that you get from it's great. The horsepower, just carrying out those gears, is great. I love everything about this supercharger. I really do. So for me, using it as a quote-unquote forever truck, I feel like it's worth it. Yoda Mafia did a great job. There is a warranty with this as well from Magnuson, which is pretty rad. So it's kind of a peace of mind. And I think it totally woke this truck up. It was like the last thing that I could do to it without tuning it even more, and just like more engine mods that you could do to this truck to really get the absolute most out of it. And I am beyond happy. At first I was kind of like, I don't know if it was really worth the price. but then driving it more on the same road conditions that I remember how the 5.7 was before, going up some hills, down some hills, freeway cruising, all of that, the Supercharger just totally changes this truck. So I will have more videos for you guys coming in the future about the Supercharger system, about this Tundra, still more modifications to come for it. So guys, I truly appreciate all of your support. Thank you for listening to me ramble about this system and this old truck. I truly do appreciate your guys' viewership. Thank you so much. I will catch you all in the next one. All right, see you later.